Plaintiff Sally Giles says the defendant is her daughter, and she started acting out when she was a teenager. Sally claims the defendant got kicked out of several schools and later abused her own husband. Sally's suing her for a credit card bill. Defendant Christina Cross says when she was 13, her mother married her stepfather, and he began molesting Christina. Christina claims when she told her mother, she didn't believe it and called her a liar. Christina's countersuing for emotional distress and defamation.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Christina's my daughter. I have made her entitled. I've given her everything she wanted and even things she didn't
give you everything you required, which I always suggest is good behavior and success in school, or at least a commitment to success in school. Did she meet her part of the bargain?
No, sir, she did not.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I have put up with a lot of abuse from Christina, along with all of her friends and family.
Starting at what age?
About 13.
What was she doing?
Well, she would hit people. She hit a bus driver. I would be called to school all the time because of acting out in school. She was running away. She was skipping school. They put her in a lockdown school.
Did you take her for counseling?
I did. But when she got...
How long? 6 months or a year and a half?
From the age of 8 till about 13.
Okay. Well, and that's when she started acting out in the age 13.
But she started acting out, honestly, before that, but by the age of 13, I couldn't control it anymore.
Yeah, okay. Sounds like she had a little disorder going on.
Yes.
Because it doesn't sound like she grew up in harsh circumstances that would traumatize people.
Yeah. She abused her first husband.
What'd she do to him?
She threw a metal phone book at him, and it sliced his face open, and he called me and told me to please come over, and when I got there, there was blood running down his face.
Let me hear from her.
Your Honor, from the time that I was little, my mom was a partier. She would go to the bar 3-4 times a week.
Okay, that's what it was.
I was mostly left home to raise my brother. She would bring different men into the house. The men would abuse myself, my brother, and my mom.
Over the course of how long? You say different men. Is that 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years?
Over the span of probably 8 years.
8 years? How many men?
Quite a few.
Over 5?
There was one man in particular that she was with for 5 years who would take us out of state and beat all of us. And I watched my mom get hung.
Beat her, you, and
absolutely.
your brother?
I watched her get hung over the Grand Canyon and a knife held to her throat, saying that if she didn't have sex in front of the kids, that he would kill her. There was a lot of things going on. When I was probably about 13 years old, she met and married her current husband. Her current husband had some strokes. My mother had gotten into a car accident and was injured. So at the age of 13, I was required to take a driver's test so I could be the driver in the home. Upon doing that, my stepdad, whom she is still currently married to, started molesting me. I did start acting out in school. Yes, at 13, sir.
Makes sense now.
I did start acting out in school, and I would like to address I'm very successful. I do have 3 medical degrees.
Is that right?
Yes, I do.
Congratulations.
Now, because you went back to school.
I told my mom about the molestation. She called me a liar, told all my family that I was lying. She shunned me away. I ended up running away at the age of 15. I met my first husband, who was in the military. I got married at the age of 16. She signed off on all of her rights and let me get married at the age of 16. I moved out of state, and I had 2 children by him. Years later, after her husband admitted to touching me, I finally decided to fix the family, that I wanted to come back home and I wanted to have a relationship with my mother and him.
When?
Yes, she stayed with him.
When was that?
That was, let's see, my daughter was born in 1995, so I moved back home in 1995 from
Right, 95 you tried to repair the
Correct.
family. And then how did that go?
Here and there it was on and off. We had, you know, lots of fights. There was a lot of things done wrong. And I do want to address that I was kicked out of a school because I was caught smoking.
What grade were
I
you?
was probably in about 7th or 8th grade, and I was kicked out.
How old were you, though? I don't know how old you are anymore.
Many
at
schools,
7,
not
8.
Probably about 90, 91.
14.
13,
So it was
14.
about- yeah, it was in there.
Everything you did after 13 is quite understandable.
I was kicked
You're
out of
lucky
the
to be
school.
standing here and not be on drugs, or lucky to be standing here, period. You certainly look well kept. You certainly look as if you're a prosperous and successful woman.
Thank
So you've overcome obstacles, and I applaud you. So I don't need to know what happened. I don't need to know about any of your destructive things after age 13.
Okay.
Very clear what happened there. Anything else before I go back to
Yes,
Brown?
after trying to repair the relationship
Mm-hmm.
and forgiving my stepdad, we did have something, you know, good going on in our family.
Mm-hmm.
A few years ago, I did ask him to co-sign for a truck for me.
Mm-hmm.
He agreed. After co-signing for the truck, he told me that I owed him something else now.
That was 3 years ago.
That was, yes.
I
Go back
object,
to
Your
his
Honor.
old tricks. You object to what?
This is a polygraph
I
test
will
that my
explain
husband
that if
took.
you let me. I will explain
And
that if
they
you let
made
me.
an agreement to have a sexual affair.
Your
okay,
Honor.
For the truck. And this is a, this
Why
came
would your
from,
husband do that?
because he's 80
And
years
you
old and
still
doesn't have
with
a
him?
brain.
And you still with
Yeah,
him?
he's here.
Your Honor, may
You would let your husband have sex with your daughter,
No.
and your defense is it was consensual. First, he raped her
He didn't
for
rape her.
many years as a child.
said that. It
Oh,
was a
didn't
lie.
happen? It didn't happen?
She said
All
that
right,
about many
all right.
men.
So, let me tell you what you've said. At first, it never happened. And when it did happen, it was consensual. Either way, you have a husband that you know raped your daughter. Go right ahead. Anything else you want to
yes,
tell me?
I would like to finish.
Go ahead.
When that happened after co-signing and he propositioned me, I immediately went home and told my then husband, who told me to call my mom. We invited my mom over. While my mom was sitting on the front porch and other family members were there, my stepdad, called me on the phone. My mom told me to go along with every single thing that he said.
I did not. I didn't even
Agreed
know
to
he was on the
everything
phone.
that he said because she wanted to be the one to show up at the motel room and confront him. So she wanted me to agree. I did that. I agreed to everything. She then told me to go to the prosecuting attorney and prosecute him. I did that. And then as soon as the prosecuting attorney tapped my phone and got it on police record of him admitting to molesting me when I was 13 and doing it again this past 3 years, they have it on tape because they tapped my phone.
Does she know
as soon
that?
as Yes. As soon as
No.
she found out how much trouble he was going to get into,
No.
she asked me to drop the charges.
That's a
I went
lie.
to... It's not a lie.
Do you
I went
have
to the
one
prosecuting...
document about the police or about the prosecuting attorney? Just one.
I
Because
have
she's going to
here
tell me it never
my
happened.
mother admitting to him
All right,
doing
so
it.
let me see that.
My
And
mother
ma'am,
asking
all
me to
right,
go-
let her give her story, and then I'll compare it. All right, based on the evidence I have. Ma'am, you say that you didn't know why she was so troubled at age 13, and you still don't because you deny anything ever happened to her because what she alleges happened to her is a full explanation of her behavior, but never happened. And you also wanted to show me something regarding a lie detector test?
Christina baited Clint. In her own words, I baited him.
She said
This
you
is the
told her to.
polygraph
She
test.
said you told her to.
I did not ask
yes,
her
Hold
you
on,
did.
ma'am, let me see it. Let me see it, because the way you just stated it to me sounds just like you asked her to. Sounds like she was reporting back to you what you asked her to do. Yeah, so I baited him by agreeing, which was wrong, but I didn't do it to hurt anyone. I did it because I know what else to do, because I know if I told you without any kind of proof, he did say it, you wouldn't believe me again. Okay, anything else you want to show me? What is this, a lie detector test? She says that, of course, is going to say he was there because, as you just handed me, she baited him based upon your encouragement. So, yeah, all right. Did Christina give you permission to touch her breast? Yes. Did Christina say you could feel her breast if you bought the vehicle? Yes. When you reached to touch Christina's, did she say that's not part of the deal? He says yes. Anything else you want to show me about your husband? Let's move on. We got all that out the way. And your credit card, how does she owe you for that?
My credit card went down 70 points because she quit making payments.
On what? Tell me you got it in your name for her use? Or
August
what?
13th, 2015, we opened a credit card together. I co-signed for her. The credit limit was $6,500, but I asked her to only put $2,000 on the credit card for the TV that she needed. So she did. The payments weren't made like they should have been, so I asked her to please not put anything on it because she came to me and wanted to put a washer, dryer, and refrigerator on there, and I told her no because the payments weren't being made right. And when my husband and I went to Hawaii, she put the washer, dryer, and refrigerator on the credit card, maxed it out at $6,500. In 2017, she did not make September and November's payment. In January, February, March, April, and May, she didn't make 2018's payment. That was 7 payments in all that were not made. My credit score started going down, went down 70%. They contacted me because it was going down, and that's how I learned of this going down. So I'm trying to save my credit by paying them off.
Okay. And so you have evidence there? So
Yes,
let me
I
see
do.
it. And I'm reading the evidence she gave me before I allowed you to give me this lie detector test. You were defending him again today. But let me tell you what you said to her. You said, I wrote him a letter. It reads, Clint, when I heard the tape, I was sick. No words can describe how you make me feel. I want a divorce. It's over. I told you if you ever messed around on me again, this was going to happen. And to do it to Christina again, after she has fought her feelings about what you have already done to her once, how dare you do this again? I'm giving you the Pontiac, your clothes, a TV, and your porn. It means more to you than me. And I hope you're happy. All right, ma'am. Well, we know who's telling the truth on that. She's lying today, but on here, she was telling the truth about how her husband raped you when you were a child. She refers to it, saying he did it again and again. All right, now we know the truth. And now that I have the truth and I am going to determine that you have perjured yourself, I'm going to dismiss your claim and I'm going to grant her hers because you've perjured yourself very clearly. Have a good day. You and the molester can get out of my courtroom. Have a good day. You all right? Hang in there. I'm proud of you. Proud you're able to stand strong. Hang in there.
Get away from me.
Can I give you a hug?
Get away from me.
Please?
No, get away from me.
Okay.
You've done this to me for 23 years.
I'm sorry, Christina, for what Clint has done to you.
It's you too. You too, and you give my kids drugs.
I do not.
I have a paper right there. A police report.
I have-
Would you like me to prove you wrong there too?
Christina,
Just
I
give me,
have a letter.
Listen, all I want from you is just get your name off the title to my house and leave me alone. Please, just leave me alone.
Tell you what.
It's 23 years of torture. I'm done. Leave me alone. She's gonna stay with them and keep torturing me, saying that it's my fault and I asked for it. That's what she's gonna keep doing. She's been doing it for years.